I'm BrianVee, and this is Why We Work. Today, I have the great pleasure of speaking to Mr. Frankie MacDonald. If you do not know Frankie MacDonald, I suggest you search him before you even listen to this interview. And once you do, come back and listen, even if you just find a video. But even if you don't want to, you can continue. But Frankie MacDonald is an inspiration to why we work. To have an excuse to say, I can't do something, I think this gentleman takes that excuse and throws it as far as the East is from the West, and he gives you the inspiration to get out there and work. Please join me in this conversation with Mr. Frankie MacDonald. Hi, I'm BrianVee, and this is Why We Work, and I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking today with Mr. Frankie MacDonald. Good day, Frankie.
I'm doing great so far.
You're doing great so far. Frankie, I just said thank you for doing this. You, my friend, are very busy.
Yes, I'm very busy doing weather reports lately because of that Hurricane Laura headed towards western Louisiana and Texas border.
Not only are you busy doing weather reports, you messaged me now and said, I'm done my other interview. I'm ready now.
Already know. I done my interview with the Dark Mail podcast.
Frankie, you're so busy. So, Frankie, can you give a little introduction from your perspective of what it is you do? What do you do in your work?
That means as for weather reports on my YouTube channel, I do my weather reports and I warn people, get them ready for storms and things like that.
So in your bio, it says you're an amateur meteorologist.
I'm an amateur meteorologist. And professionals need a degree, the amateurs don't.
But I mean, I can look at many professionals, and you have a lot of following. You have a lot of people.
Like Chris St. Clair from the Weather Network and Jim Cantorn from the Weather Channel in the States. Last time I was talking to Jim Cantorn on the phone, that was 2015.
And you have bigger following than them, so I think you're right up there. You're along the same line.
That means, and I just checked his Twitter account. Jim Cantorn has well over 1 million followers. I only have 122,000 followers,
Well,
and he got way more followers than me.
That's true. I guess he does. Frankie, can we go back? Because this podcast is why we work. So why we do the things that we do. And you were messaging me and telling me you want to talk about your younger years, your childhood years. Frankie, when did you start maybe working or doing some things on your own out of your own motivation? How old were you when you started?
That means when I was a little toddler, I went swimming, biking, running, jogging, things like that, swinging on the swing, things like that when I was a little toddler. I graduated from Sydney Academy High School in the year 2004. Then on December 27, 2007, I did the very first video of the scenery. Then on December 16, 2009, I did the very first video of myself on my old YouTube channel, Flank99, that doesn't exist anymore. On June 8, 2010, I uploaded my video, Severe Earthquake Warning for California, September 2010. 2 days later, my video went viral for the first time ever. Back then, I didn't know how to ignore all trolls, and I got 650,000 views in a few days. And I had to delete my old video. I had to delete my old YouTube channel back then. And I didn't know how to ignore all trolls back then. Yeah. I learned my lesson. Now I ignore trolls now. And I made Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 13. I opened up my new YouTube channel on June 13, 2011.
So the trolls, you're talking about avoiding and understanding trolls. So what they are probably just not very caring and not very kind. Is that what you experienced?
Yes, they don't know any better. Those trolls, they don't know any better at all.
Okay. So when you were, just before you graduated in high school, did you work at all? Did you have any other job before starting the weather reports?
That means in the year 2002, I had a job I had a volunteer work experience at the Rolling Lanes that doesn't exist anymore. They tore that building down. Then I started maintenance at the Mayflower Mall in November 2002
Why did
as
you
work
get
experience, and I started on a payroll in 2005 after that. And I
what?
worked at the Mayflower Mall maintenance department before I started doing my YouTube videos.
So Frankie, why did so when you started your maintenance job or in the bowling alley, why did you go out and work? What what got you out of the house to start something on your own?
That means that when I was in high school, they had a program that's called Volunteer Work Experience.
Why did you do it?
Because the program that all the people in my class that did it.
Very good. So you were doing it on your own. You wanted to just try something different. That was your motivation. It wasn't for
That's
money.
before I do my weather reports. I was cleaning floors, cleaning windows, things like that at the Mayflower Mall in 2002, 2003 in the hallways in the mall. Then I had to clean the windows and things like that. Then in 2009, I had to do a lot of sanitizing for the H1N1 swine flu
Yes.
pandemic back then. It wasn't as bad as COVID-19. In March 2020, I got laid off because of the COVID-19 thing.
So what made you do your very first video on YouTube? What made you pick up your phone and say, I'm gonna videotape myself? What was your reasoning for were
And
you
the very first video of the scenery is with the digital camera that was on December 27, 2007. And on Wednesday, December 16, 2009, I had my video camera with a taped like DV. It's like a small little VCR like thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I just took a video of myself for the first time ever at Neville Park in the Pier. When I upload my video to Windows Vista laptop, it had to have FireWire back then. They didn't have USB yet. They had to use a FireWire to transfer the video from the video cassette in the video camera. It's like a DV mini cassette into a laptop.
So before you pressed record on your video camera, were you doing this at home too? Like were you into the weather? Were you looking at
That
weather?
means on the old-fashioned video camera, before I did severe earthquake warning for California in September 2010, I just pressed the record button on the DV. It's like a tape thing, and didn't have high definition videos yet on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
So what directed you towards weather? Why do you like weather so much?
And I watched the weather on TV when I was a little boy. I did a lot of weather on television. And I was watching weather on television, and I did a study in the weather models for the first time ever in March 2007.
Frankie, what amazes you about the weather? So when we see things like typhoons and storms and hurricanes and all, what do you like the most about the weather? What
All
fascinates
kinds of bad weather, all kinds of bad weather all over the world. And when a typhoon high and hit Philippines, I warned those people to get them prepared back then.
Do you like the weather? Do you like, oh, it's interesting to see a storm? Do you like to see a typhoon? Do you like to
I'd like
see
to
it?
see a typhoon when it headed towards Philippines and headed towards Okinawa, Japan in July 2014. A lot of people took it seriously when a typhoon that hit Okinawa, Japan.
They're very powerful, aren't they?
They're
Very.
really, really powerful. Just like I did a major blizzard to hit Wisconsin on December 19, 2012. I got so many views on my YouTube channel. Just like a Winnipeg major snowstorm in November 2012, like a major blizzard hit Winnipeg, Manitoba on the day before Remembrance Day 2012. Just like I did a video called Denver, Colorado, massive blizzard hit Denver, Colorado in late October 2011.
Frankie, what is your favorite weather? I love summer days. I remember
In
I
the summer days, and people go for a walk down a boardwalk and things like that. I take videos of myself when I warn those people for their area when it's a big snowstorm headed for somebody else.
what is the scariest weather that you don't like to be out in? What kind of weather do you not like to be out in?
Blizzards, hailstorms, things like that. Large hail and hail can bounce off, bing, boing, 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 and blizzard you can't even see everything. So they have to stay indoors, and police to tell people not to go outside in the blizzard.
It's me too. And and you live I lived in Nova Scotia and we have lots of blizzards. So they're pretty hard and very cold and pretty nasty.
Before the COVID-19, and when I was at the bar, if it's raining a lot, I had to get a taxi home when I was at the bar, damn party, and before the COVID. That means I got a taxi home from Dooley's to Sydney or the Steel City or the Old Triangle because the weather's too bad to walk like high winds and heavy rain. High winds can damage the umbrella.
Absolutely. So Frankie, you have obviously become very popular with your weather forecasts.
Yes,
How are you able to push away the trolls, push away, I've asked you a few times. We've been talking, but
I ignore
messaging.
all trolls. Don't feed the trolls. They get Frankie Defense Teams on Instagram now.
You got Frankie, the defense team.
The fight against trolls.
That's wonderful, Frankie. How do you grew up? Where is it you grew up? In Whitney Pier.
Whitney Pier, Nova Scotia, I grew up. I was born and raised in Sydney, Nova Scotia, in Whitney Pier area.
So you come from a very quiet town, yes? It's very,
Yes,
small and quiet. And on Facebook or on Instagram or on your YouTube or Twitter, you're very big. So how do you deal with lots of people trying to message you and trying to get your attention? How do you separate
that
them?
means and it's trolls. I ignore all bad trolls and negative people all the time, and I just come up with my own ideas. I do comedy videos as well. Like Guy tries to eat 50 hot dogs at once. I uploaded a video on May 21st, 2012. In December 2015, I did a Guy tries to eat 50 sausages at once. In September 2015, I did a Guy tries to eat 50 tacos at once. I did a guy dancing being chased by dogs in 2014. I had to I did a video, a guy dancing in raining tacos, things like that. That's a comedy video I did. And I also did a guy dancing being chased by aliens in 2016.
So you're keep creating. So you're from what I know also, you're not only doing comedy in weather reporting, but you also have a book.
My book is Be Prepared, to Find Out Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything. It's published by Nimbus Publishing in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Sarah Soller is the person who wrote my book. She's the co-author of my book, Be Prepared, to Find Out Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything. She started writing my own book in late 2017 and got it finished in 2018. It has 48 pages that have childhood pictures of me and things like that.
And you mentioned you have a bobblehead.
A bobblehead of me, and I can show you something. A Frankie MacDonald bobblehead designed by National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame. Here I am. Phil Schuyler designed a talking Frank Down bobblehead at the National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame. I got another thing. Frankie says be prepared t-shirts and
You
shirts from the
do.
Lost Cause Clothing Company in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Ben Campbell, he lives in Big Spring, Texas. He designed the Frankie MacDonald action figures.
Yes, I was just gonna say you have a new action figure. Did that come out recently?
In 2018, Ben Campbell selling a lot of it. And he told me 300 Frankie action figures sold out within a month in
Well,
2020.
I'm sure you're gonna
300 Frankie MacDonald action figures sold.
sell a lot. Frankie, what do you like the most about your Twitter, your Facebook, the attention, the action figures, the clothes? And doing the weather reports? What do you like doing the most?
I do the weather report, especially bad weather headed for their area. When I'm bored, I come up with my ideas with my comedy videos.
So your weather reports, so you do mostly Nova Scotia, but I know you're doing
I
other
I do
places.
I do mostly weather reports all across Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, and all these places in Iowa, and Illinois, and Indiana, and Ohio, things like that in California, Washington, Oregon, and all those places. And Alaska, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana.
So you do all of the states as well. So
Yes. And
what
I do weather reports from England, Australia, New Zealand. Plus, I did a Hurricane Dorian that hit Nova Scotia on Saturday, September 7th, 2019. I shoot the video myself using my smartphone on September 1st, 2019. I uploaded the video on September 1st, 2019. I defeated Donald Trump by the hurricane, and I absolutely got it right.
That's wonderful. So I'm in South Korea. Will you maybe start doing some weather reports for South Korea? Because
Yes, I
I
did some South Korea weather reports before as well.
did you already? I asked you at the beginning because we have a typhoon coming. So maybe you can give us a little warning for.
I want everyone to stay away from the beaches and don't go near shores in South Korea, especially on the west coast of South Korea. And South Korea's going to get a lot of rain. Make sure every umbrella's ready, every emergency kits, medical kits, flashlights, candles, extra batteries, generators, battery operated lanterns, and bottled water ready as well. When the typhoon gets really bad, get inside your house. Don't go outside. Stay away from the beaches and don't go near shores.
Frankie, have you ever been contacted by? Because I know your videos. You'll say, "Be prepared. Get your Coca-Cola." Yeah, you
Yes,
say.
be prepared. That's my primary catchphrase. And my new catchphrase is, don't let your guard down. Keep your guard up.
In when you mention Coca-Cola, has Coca-Cola ever reached out to you?
Not yet. Pepsi never reached out to me yet. I did a commercial for McDonald Auto Group in 2016. In the year 2018, I did it in two radio commercials, one with a Halifax car, Atlantic car stereos in Halifax, and another car stereos in St. John, New Brunswick, and a Great Canadian Dollar Store TV commercial in 2018.
Frankie, you're killing it. You are working. Do you have a team? Do you have people there that help you as well, manage your schedule and help you? Because I couldn't
I'm
do.
working on it. That means pretty soon I'll be going on the world tour. I'll be going to every single country on the entire face of the planet Earth. I'll be giving those speeches. I'll be dancing on stage with women. I'll be doing comedy skits on stage. If anyone, people have to pay at the box office to go see me on stage. And then I'll be traveling to every country in the world. So many people will go see me.
Frankie, what is hard about what you do? Because you're busy. You have a lot. I mean, Frankie, I wanted to talk to you for a while, several years actually, because I remember when you first started and being from Nova Scotia, and I commend you. You are working, and I didn't realize how much you are working. What is hard about some of the things that you do? Not even the trolls, that's understandable, but what might be a little difficult? It might even only be a small thing like scheduling or something. What is
That means a
difficult?
schedule. That means it could be a weather and could be definitely could be difficult schedule. Could be conflicts when you go to show movie theaters to watch a movie or a hockey game, and the weather reports like an interference. Means that sometimes there's two different internet radio shows interference. You have to reschedule it.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing. What do you like the most? Like, I know you like doing your weather reports, but what do you like about all of the how
And
you
I want
go
to save people's lives all over the world, even in countries that don't speak English.
saving people's lives around the world and preparing them?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing, Frankie. And I really want to I'm not done, but I really want to thank you for all of your hard work. I mean, coming from Whitney Pier, Sydney, Nova Scotia, and you're only young, Frankie. You're only what,
Yes, I'm 36 years old.
36?
I was born on April 24th, 1984.
You're from a small town. You're working. You're representing Nova Scotia, Canada, right? You're representing
Yes,
people well.
and that means I was on CBC The Debaters in June 2019. I was saying a few words, performing with a lot of people for CBC The Debaters in June 2019.
So I want to thank you for your hard work, Frankie. I'm sure
Yes,
lots of people thank you, but thank you because you're an inspiration. You help people realize that you work so much, then someone else can work a little bit more. So I truly appreciate all that you're doing, and you're bringing something positive. And I like how you say, don't even pay attention to the trolls, people that say something bad. It's very good what you're doing. I really want to commend you and thank you for all of your hard work. It's wonderful. Thank you, Frankie. But I'm not quite done yet. Frankie, do you have any, you work so much, but some people work very little or they don't work. Sometimes they're sad, right? Sometimes they're depressed.
Sometimes they're sad. And on Reddit, there's a lot of bad guys on Reddit sharing things. Those guys on Reddit, there's always in their computers all day. They don't want to go. They don't go outside. They
Yeah.
don't go to the beach in the summertime. There's always on the computer all the time. Those guys on Reddit, some of them have long beards.
Can you imagine the summertime and not wanting to go to the beach? I love the beach. How could someone not want to go to
That
the
means
beach?
those guys on Reddit not want to go to the beach. They say bad stuff about famous people and things like that. He says I'm
Absolutely.
a loop and things like that. Those bad guys are saying that. It's not true.
It's
Those
not
guys
true.
don't know what you're saying on Reddit. Those are guys who are on the computers all the time. They're on Reddit.
With the long beards. But if we have a message for them, Frankie, not about the bad things that they might say, but we want to encourage some people to try to work a little harder. Do you have a
Those
message?
guys on Reddit get to work a little harder than that.
Do we have a message for people who are sad and that may be a little
Watch
depressed?
my YouTube videos to make them happy.
That's the best thing, right? And to work, right? And you have a great work ethic. You are working,
Yes,
you had interviews set up, you have a bobblehead, you have an action figure, you have, I went on
that
your,
means
go ahead.
did you? I'm going to introduce the Bass Guy Show. Jack Casey. He's the guy running the Bass Guy Show. He's on YouTube as well. Bass Guy Show. He's on Wednesday afternoons at 2:20 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time.
And he's
Bass
good.
Guy Show.
Bass guy show, and he's good encouragement for people.
He interviewed me on every Wednesdays.
Oh, every Wednesdays you're on his show. You're a feature.
Yeah.
Frankie, how do you rest when you're not doing the Frankie MacDonald stuff? What do you like to do to take a break and rest from your work?
I watch TV and lay down and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like to go to the beach too and just relax and not and put away
Yes,
your phone?
and some people have to turn out the phones. They don't want to get their phones room swimming because the water's not good for the circuit boards and processors and
Yeah.
computer parts and things like that.
Yeah, in Korea here, a lot of people now have there's a phone bag so they can take their phone in the water with them. It's kind of a new little invention you
They
can
don't have
see.
them in Canada, any United States or Mexico.
That's interesting. Korea with Samsung telephone is huge and new at the beach and at water parks. Most people carry their phones so they can take pictures in the water. It's pretty interesting.
Underwater pictures.
Frankie, everyone has a difficulty in life, I think. You may not agree, but everyone has some difficulty in life. And I
Some
think,
people, some people have autism. Sometimes it gets difficult when they learn in school. Sometimes,
yeah,
like in learning difficulties and things like that, you have to ask them for their help and things like that. Sometimes, and, everybody has their own little difficulties at all times.
absolutely. I agree. How has your working, because this is what you're doing, you're working. I don't know what you're getting paid, but you should be getting paid a lot for the work that you're doing. How
Now
has,
I'm doing
go
now
ahead.
I'm doing videos about Bitcoin. One Bitcoin that's around $11,700 American.
So you're an advocate for Bitcoin too. How has working for the last 10, 12 years when you first, even when you were at the Mayflower Mall or is it Mayfair Mall, sorry.
Mayflower Mall.
Yeah, yeah,
And that
Mayflower
means I was
Mall.
cleaning floors and windows and things like that. That's before I started YouTube.
Yeah. How has working then and all the way up until now and in your world tour, how has the work helped you even with your own difficulties? And
I made up my own idea about the world tour in early 2020. It's on my YouTube channel.
how has your work helped you live day to day? How has your work helped you?
My T-shirts came out in 2015. My Frankie MacDonald bobbleheads came out in 2015. First one's with Bobbleheads Canada. This is a first Frankie MacDonald bobbleheads National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame right here.
You're doing amazing work, Frankie, and I think your work has helped you a lot, just like
Yes.
everyone's work helps. And you obviously enjoy your work.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you like doing what you do?
I like doing what I'm doing all the time.
And it shows. It absolutely shows. Frankie, I have one final question for you, but before I ask that question, do you have anything you want to say or where people can find you?
I am Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to BrianVee Podcast. I'm Frankie
Yeah,
MacDonald.
it's
You're listening to
why.
BrianVee Podcast.
Yes. Why we work. Yes. How can they find you? Where could they find
My
you on?
YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. My Twitter is at Frankie McD. And my Facebook is Frankie MacDonald and Frank Down fan page with blue check mark. My Instagram is Frankie MacD 1984. And my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon. And my TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald.
Frankie, that's great. And people can find me, as he said, why we work and subscribe and hit the notification.
Yes.
One final question for you, Frankie, do you have anything else you want to say or add?
If you want to order Frank Down action figures, go to frankieactionfigure.com. If you want to order a copy of my book, go to Amazon and Chapters Indigo or Barnes & Noble websites to order a copy of my book. And if you want to order Talking Frankie Down bobbleheads, go to National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame and Milwaukee, Wisconsin website.
Frankie, you're awesome. You don't need.
Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie. I will say this thing.
Yeah, go ahead. You can say it. I have one question. I think you'll end it well. How about I ask this one question first? Why do you work, Frankie? Why do you do what you do?
I like doing what I'm doing my videos on YouTube. Doesn't matter whether comedy, dancing. So a lot of fans can watch me.
So why people can watch you, and people are watching you. And you wanted to end it with what, Frankie? You go ahead. You take it over.
Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to the BrianVee Podcast, Why We Work.